Very good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya with you. All the big news stories from India and across the world coming up in the next 30 minutes. First up, a look at the top headlines. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro arrives for 4-day India visit. Chief guest at 71st Republic Day Parade. He will hold talks with Prime Minister Modi and President Kovind on Saturday. Campaigning for Delhi election, Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP President JP Nadda to address rallies. Nominations of 698 candidates found valid after scrutiny. Last date for withdrawal today. China's coronavirus claims 25 lives. Spreads to more cities, nearly 20 million quarantine. Indian Embassy in Beijing issues helpline number. Prime Minister Modi to meet winners of Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar. He will also interact with 1,730 tribal artists, NCC cadets, NSS volunteers and tableau artists taking part in Republic Day Parade today. And Team India to take on host New Zealand in the first T20 International of 5-match series in Auckland. Teams to also play 3 one-day internationals and 2 tests. The top story this morning, Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro will arrive in India on a 4-day visit beginning today with the aim to re-energize the bilateral strategic partnership by boosting trade and investment and deepening cooperation in key sectors such as energy and defense. Bolsonaro, during his first visit to India after assuming power, will be the chief guest at India's 71st Republic Day Parade on 26th of January, besides holding talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Ram Nath Kovind on Saturday. Prime Minister Modi had extended the invitation to President Bolsonaro during the G20 summit held in Osaka last year.
Brazilian President Bolsonaro will reach Delhi on January 24th for a 4-day state visit. He will be accompanied by 8 ministers and a business group. During his visit, Bolsonaro will participate in a summit meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on January 25th, where a number of important agreements are expected to be signed.
The visit of President Bolsonaro is extremely important visit. It will be an opportunity to re-energize our strategic partnership, take it forward in a very focused manner, and we have a very positive and a forward-looking agenda to build stronger ties with Brazil.
The Brazilian president will also be given a ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan and will attend formal talks with President Ram Nath Kovind. On January 27th, he will address the India-Brazil Business Forum. India and Brazil share a very close relationship. Apart from bilateral ties, they are also part of IBSA and BRICS and work closely at the United Nations and the World Trade Organization. Brazil is also an active member in the International Solar Alliance formed at the initiative of India. Trade between the two countries stands at about $8.2 billion and is steadily on the rise.
Almost 14 agreements are expected to be signed between India and Brazil, and one of the most important will be getting ethanol making technology from Brazil, because Brazil is very good in that. And once this cooperation is done, it will add to reducing our carbon footprint in the world. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person Suresh in Delhi.
Meanwhile, Brazilian envoy Andre Arana Correa de Lago has said that the amended citizenship law and the situation in Kashmir are internal issues of India, and the country, with its dynamic democracy, will find solutions to these challenges. Lago said that over 15 agreements will be signed during the Brazilian president's visit to India, including one on the investment protection and facilitation treaty.
We're going to discuss with many ministers the many aspects of our relations and also some of the perspectives in where we can increase this bilateral relation. And by the way, we're going to exchange at that moment more than 15 agreements between the government agreements and also between institutions. And we're going to also launch the plan of action for our strategic partnership. We have a strategic partnership, but we want to make it more dynamic. And the plan of action is going to be launched by the two leaders.
All right, let's get you some other news now. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said that the minority communities in India are safer than most places in the world. Speaking at a session on Strategic Outlook India at the World Economic Forum 2020, Goyal said that India is one of the most inclusive societies in the world, which welcomes diverse viewpoints and opinions. Goyal also said that in India, all the government programs are designed in such a way to provide equal opportunity to everyone without any discrimination on the basis of color or caste. On economy, he said that India has a huge growth opportunities as he welcomed investors from across the world. On the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, Goyal said that it was an unbalanced trade agreement which was not fulfilling the guiding principles on which RCEP was started about 8 years ago, and therefore India chose not to participate in it. Newly elected BJP President JP Nadda on Thursday hit out at the parties supporting the protests against the Citizenship Amendment Act. Addressing a public meeting in Agra in support of the CAA, Nadda said that the Congress party was provoking Muslims. Allaying the concerns of the minority community, JP Nadda said that the law is to provide citizenship and not take it away. He also said that in the past 8 months, the Modi government has done what the previous governments could not do in 70 years.
कांग्रेस पार्टी जो कुछ नहीं सीए के बारे में जानती है सिवाय भ्रम फैलाने के और कोई काम नहीं कर रही। इनकी राजनीति समाप्त हो गई है। इनको समझ में आ गया है कि देश बदल चुका है और मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में तीव्र गति से आगे बढ़ रहा है। इस कारण से उनकी दिक्कत हो रही है। कोई मुद्दा नहीं रह गया। आप बताइए, ये क्या कहते हैं? ये कहते हैं करोड़ों लोग भारत में आ जाएंगे। अरे तुमने कानून पढ़ा ही नहीं है, आने वालों की बात नहीं है। जो आ गए हैं, जो यहां रह रहे हैं, जो 20-20 साल से यहां रह रहे हैं, उनको नागरिकता दी जा रही है। ये हमारी पार्टी आइडियोलॉजिकल बेस्ड नीतियों के आधार पर खड़ी है और हमारी पार्टी कार्यकर्ता के आधार पर, कैडर के आधार पर खड़ी है। इसलिए कार्यकर्ता की चिंता करना और विचार के लिए समर्पित रहना, इसको आगे बढ़ाने का काम मैं करूंगा।
And now all the action on the upcoming Delhi Assembly elections. Nominations of 698 candidates for the assembly elections in Delhi have been found to be valid after scrutiny. 1,029 candidates had filed nominations for the 70 assembly seats. The nominations can be withdrawn by today. Polling will be held on 8th of February and the counting will be taken up on 11th of February. Meanwhile, campaigning for the Delhi Assembly election has intensified with leaders from all political parties holding election rallies and roadshows. Home Minister Amit Shah is scheduled to address 3 public meetings in Delhi, and BJP President JP Nadda will also address election rallies in Lakshmi Nagar and Vishwas Nagar in Delhi. And apart from BJP, the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress Party are also campaigning. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal will hold a road show in Janakpuri. He will also hold road shows in Tilak Nagar and Madhipur today. Senior BJP leader and Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday campaigned in support of the BJP candidates for the Delhi elections. He addressed an election rally in West Delhi's Patiala constituency, and during his address, Amit Shah alleged that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal-led government has failed to fulfill the promises related to employment, installation of CCTV cameras and bringing a law for Lokpal.
15 लाख सीसीटीवी कैमरा लगाने थे, 25-30 हजार लगाकर दिल्ली वालों को दिखाने का काम कर रहे हो भैया। 15 लाख सीसीटीवी कैमरा लगाने थे, 5000 डीटीसी की बसें लानी थी, सिर्फ 300 लाए हो। 8 लाख युवाओं को नौकरी देने थी, जो नौकरी देने की छोड़ो, जो पहले से बेचारे अस्थाई नौकरी में है, उनको भी आपने स्थायित्व नहीं दिया। फ्री वाईफाई देनी थी, मैं पूरे रोड से आया, मोबाइल लगाता रहा, बैटरी घिस गई, वाईफाई नहीं मिला भैया, कहीं वाईफाई नहीं मिला। एक जन लोकपाल लाना था, अन्ना हजारे के आंदोलन के सहारे आप मुख्यमंत्री बनकर बैठ गए और अन्ना की कल्पना का जन लोकपाल आप नहीं लाए। मोदी जी ने लोकपाल का बिल पास करा, उसको भी आपने दिल्ली में स्वीकार नहीं करा।
And ahead of the Delhi Assembly polls, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Thursday held a roadshows in 3 constituencies. Kejriwal campaigned in Patiala, Uttamnagar and Vikaspuri constituencies and appealed to the people to vote in large numbers in support of his party in the upcoming polls. He also highlighted his government's work related to water, electricity and education in the last 5 years. Delhi Assembly polls will be held on 8th of February and the counting will take place on 11th of February. Those were all the news related to the upcoming Delhi Assembly elections. And with that, we'll take a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more news.
The government is set to slash the requirements and time taken for starting a new business from 10 processes and 18 days to 5 processes and as many days.
It's another institutional forum for coordination of state policy towards businesses, like GST Council, will be a helpful instrument. So there, a lot of these issues, nuts and bolts issues affecting businesses on a day-to-day basis can be discussed.
Overall cost of doing business in the country has to be brought down in a manner, again, in an integrated manner where states and center are looking at this thing together and bringing out policies where your overall ease of doing business ecosystem is such that businessmen can start businesses quickly.
It takes a lot of education and learning to go through the entire process to bring everybody onto the new system, right? So implementation also is the key.
Welcome back after the break. Niti Aayog will develop a national data and analytics platform to make all the government data accessible to stakeholders in a user-friendly manner. Releasing the vision document for the National Data and Analytics Platform, Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Rajiv Kumar said that the NDAP will strive to ensure that the data is assured, consistent, coherent and credible. The platform aims to democratize the access to publicly available government data. The vision document was released in the presence of Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant, senior officials from various ministries and state governments, academics and researchers. On to some other news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will meet and interact with the 49 awardees of the Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar 2020 in New Delhi today. The children will interact with the Prime Minister and share their ideas and thoughts during the meeting. The children are the winners in the fields of art and culture, innovation, scholastic, social service, sports and bravery. President Ramnath Kovind had presented the Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar yesterday. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister will also interact with over 1,730 tribal artists, NCC cadets, NSS volunteers and tableau artists who are going to participate in the Republic Day Parade. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today conveyed warm wishes to the people of Uttar Pradesh on UP Divas. In a series of tweets, the Vice President said that Uttar Pradesh has been playing a remarkable role in Indian history. He added that great freedom fighters such as Lakshmi Bai, Mangal Pandey and many others were born in the great land. He further wrote that the state has been witnessing a transformation in all spheres and has a tremendous growth potential to excel in various sectors. The Vice President also called upon all to promote the rich cultural heritage, literary, artistic and craftsmanship of the people of the state. Let's move on in the bulletin. Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi has been appointed as the commander of the Northern Command, which takes care of overall security scenario along the border with Pakistan in Jammu and Kashmir as well as with China in Ladakh. Lieutenant General Joshi, with vast experience of anti-terror operations in Kashmir, succeeds Lieutenant General Ranbir Singh, who retires from service on 31st of January. Lieutenant General Joshi is currently serving as the Chief of Staff of the Northern Command. He will take charge of the Northern Command as General Officer Commanding-in-Chief on 1st of February. While Lieutenant General C.P. Mohanty has been appointed the Commander of the Southern Command. He succeeds Lieutenant General S.K. Saini, who will take charge as the new Vice Chief of the Army on Saturday. The post of Vice Chief fell vacant after General Narvane was appointed as the Chief of Army Staff. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Thursday unveiled the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at Raj Bhavan in Chennai. Describing Netaji as one of the most illustrious sons of India, the Vice President called upon the youth to take inspiration from his life and strive towards building a new India. Admiring his charismatic personality that made him a natural leader, Naidu said that Netaji was among the few leaders whose life can be a guiding light for the Indian youth. Remembering the life history of Netaji, Vice President Naidu said that Bose was deeply influenced by Swami Vivekananda's teachings and was known for his patriotic zeal. The Vice President also mentioned that Bose had passed the Indian Civil Service examination, but he resigned from the service and devoted his life for the cause of our country's freedom.
I am really very happy and feel privileged to unveil this great statue of the great son of this great country. And today is his birthday. On the eve of the birthday of this great son, I salute him on behalf of the nation for doing whatever was possible at the time to get freedom to our motherland.
And swiftly responding to a request from the Maldives, India on Thursday provided 30,000 doses of measles and rubella vaccine to contain the outbreak in that country. The Ministry of External Affairs in a statement said that the doses of MMR vaccine were procured from the Serum Institute of India Private Limited, and within 3 days, the vaccine reached Mali. India's swift response underlines that health remains one of the strongest pillars of bilateral cooperation between India and the Maldives, the statement said. This gesture also emphasizes the mutually supportive roles of India's Neighborhood First policy and the Maldives' India First policy. While measles has been eliminated from the Maldives, 4 cases have tested positive in the last 1 week. The Maldivian government suspects an outbreak and required emergency supplies of the vaccine. Meanwhile, the death toll in China's alarmingly new coronavirus afflictions has climbed to 25, with the confirmed cases rising sharply to 830. The pneumonia situation had resulted in 25 deaths, including 24 in central China's Hubei province and 1 in North China's Hebei. By Thursday, 830 confirmed cases of pneumonia caused by the novel coronavirus had been reported in 29 provincial-level regions in the country. Now, a total of 1,072 suspected cases have been reported in 20 provincial-level regions, and 5 cities in China have put travel restrictions to contain the spread of the virus. Overseas, 3 cases have been confirmed in Thailand, where the 2 of them already cured. Meanwhile, The World Health Organization has said that it was too early to declare the outbreak of the novel coronavirus in China a public health emergency of international concern. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has asserted that there has been no case of novel coronavirus in the country. However, an Indian nurse working in Saudi Arabia has tested positive for the deadly virus. The nurse is from Kerala's Kottayam district and she works at the Al Hayat Hospital in Saudi Arabia. In a Twitter message, the Minister of State for External Affairs, V. Muralidharan, said that the government is in touch with the hospital management and the Saudi Foreign Ministry to provide all the support to the nurse. He also tweeted that the affected nurse is being treated at the hospital and she is recovering well. In more international news, President Donald Trump opened a new front in his battle against immigration on Thursday, barring the issuing of visas to pregnant women seeking to enter the United States for so-called birth tourism. In announcing the move, which takes effect from today, the White House said that foreigners were using the visas to secure automatic and permanent American citizenship for their children by giving birth on the American soil. The integrity of the American citizenship must be protected, it said. Temporary B1 and B2 visitor visas would no longer be issued to aliens seeking to enter the United States for birth tourism. And now our special segment on environment and climate change. Latest research by Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine says that global climate change is likely to unlock dangerous new microbes and threaten humans' ability to regulate body temperatures. Global heat-related mortality, especially in tropical and subtropical regions, will experience a sharpest surge in illness and deaths stemming from higher temperatures as compared to the US and Europe. Global warming will create microbes with higher heat resistance that will affect human immunity and will bring in new infectious diseases. Long-term strategies are needed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and slow the trend of rising temperatures. On to sports now, and the first T20 international of the 5-match cricket series between India and New Zealand will be played at Eden Park in Auckland today. India will play 5 T20 matches, 3 one-day internationals and 2 tests in the 1.5-month-long tour to New Zealand. This will be India's first ever involvement in a 5-match T20 series since they played their first T20 over international in South Africa way back in 2006. The 3-match ODI series will start from 5th of February and the first match will be played at Hamilton, followed by the second at Auckland and the third ODI at Mount Montgomery. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News. But before we go, take a look at the weather conditions in major cities of the country as I take your leave. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day ahead.